M0FXB, welcome to my channel. So today we've got a jumbo hotspot. Loads of us have got these, or we've just got one. We want to get one of our radios onto the internet. Quite commonly it will be a DMR radio, and today we're going to do it with a fusion radio. So you've got your jumbo spot. I've got here my adapter so I can plug the SD card. Now the SD card, just so you know, goes in the side here. You just slip it out in that D shape there. Slip it out. Now this is presuming that the SD card is blank. If your SD card is preloaded, then I would forward this video to the part, and I'll say in that video, right, this is from when the SD card is already loaded. But we're going to act like your SD card is also come separate, and you've just put it in. So the first thing you need to do is plug in your adapter to the computer, which we've done, and then makes sense to select it. That you get the usual scan fix error. You can do that if you want, but otherwise just find it and then format it. So you want a complete format of the SD card, which only takes a minute. There you go. So it's now formatted. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get our image onto the SD card. So imagine the SD card like almost like a hard drive in your computer. The Raspberry Pi basically, or let's call it a jumbo spot. The jumbo spot basically boots up from that SD card. And what's needed in the SD card is the image to boot up, and also your Wi-Fi details for your router at home so it can connect to the internet. So first thing you're going to do is need to get the image. So go to this page here, and I'll put all links in the description, pistar.uk, and then go down to downloads, click download Pistar. And then I always, for the jumbo spot, choose this one here, Pistar RP4. You know, that'll be the newest one. So you click that, you'll get a zip folder. And if you want, you can download WinRAR, which is free. Just Google WinRAR, and that's free. So once that's completed, just select extract, which I'll show when it completes, and send it to a folder that I would call it Pistar, so you can find it. We'll just let that extract. Normally takes a couple of minutes. Now if you've got any questions about this, message me now. My email is m0fxb@outlook.com, and I'm really happy to help. You can never do this too many times. So we're doing it live. So sorry about the wait. But a jumbo hotspot doesn't just work on Fusion, it also works on DMR and DSTAR. And it works really well, and it's being updated all the time. Right, okay. Right, it's open, so we'll select it. I have done this before. The actual image that we use is the middle one here. See, it's got like a pagey thing here with a circle in the middle, and it says here disk image file. That's the one you really need. So anyway, extract the whole lot to somewhere where you're going to find it. So mine's called Pistar here, and I'll click OK. And it'll probably ask me to replace, so I'm not going to do that. So we'll just close that for now, but you get the idea. You click OK, and that will be in that file waiting for you to use it. The next thing you need to do is go to this program. Again, I'll add the link. So it's called Balena Etcher, which basically selects the image that you've just downloaded from the file, and then puts it onto your SD card. It has to be done this way. You can't just drag and drop it. It has to be done this way. So let's open that up. So mine, I put the shortcut here. It's like a cube, and then it will say flash from file, and it's found the file straight away. But if it doesn't, just go to your file that you named PI-STAR, and then select this, and it will have a disk in the little window here. So double click that, and then select flash, and then say yes. Now again, it does take a couple of minutes. It will run the flash, and then it will go right to the end, and then it will validate it. And if it's worked correctly, and if there's no problems with the SD card, it will say flash successful. Would you like to do another one? So at this point, I'm going to pause it because it's quite a long way on this bit. Good, 4 or 5 minutes. I'll pause it, and then I'll come back when it gets to the end part. Okay, so it says here, flash complete, and I can flash another, which, yeah, why not, if you've got a couple of hotspots. So we now know that the disk image is on our SD card. Now we need to get our Wi-Fi details on our SD card. So close that window for now. The SD card is still plugged into my computer. Go back to PI-STAR, and now go to PI-STAR Tools. Select here on the left. Underneath PI-STAR Tools, it says Wi-Fi Builder. So now we're going to put our username and our password of our home router. Let's get that in there. I'll just pause while I put my password in. That's it. So once you put your password in, then you click submit. It puts this little white file here, like a sheet of paper, on the bottom left here. So I would select the little down arrow, show in folder, and then I would highlight it, and I would right click it, and I would send it to your SD card. Now if it doesn't show up, your SD card, just unplug it and plug it back in. It may ask you to format it again, but don't do that. So I'm just going to unplug the whole thing and then plug it back in. Right, let's do that again then. So show in folder, then back up, right click it, send to, look, it's showing up now as my boot E drive. There you go. So I've selected that, and you can, if you want, you can check that it's in there by just going to your file, find your E drive, click it, don't change anything, but scroll to the bottom, and it's there at the bottom. Now when you unplug it and plug it back in the computer, sometimes that just vanishes. I don't know why, but it does. But anyway, you can see at the bottom of the file, WPA supplicant. So on that file are my Wi-Fi details. So next thing is I'm going to take the SD card out. Bit fiddly. And then put it into the where the SD card goes in the jumbo spot. Now it's a bit two-handed, so I'm just going to move it out of sight in a minute. Well, I don't know how well you can see that, but that is now in there, and the sort of the writing side is upwards, and the little spokes that are golden are downwards. So we've got the SD card into the jumbo spot. So all we do now is get a mini USB. I've got one connected to my computer, and plug it into the power supply now, and there are two, and I think they both work. So we're just going to plug it in. Get it the right way round. Let it flash away. Just going to make sure you can what you can see. Here, get it into view. because we're going to get it on working on Fusion. I will also show you how to set it up for DMR as well. So let's minimize that back down. So, right. Give that a couple of minutes to boot up, and it's all going to flash away. And if fingers crossed, if we put the WPA file in correctly, we have now, it's now sending out a Wi-Fi signal, which we can log into. So you've got to be patient with this. Sometimes it takes a couple of goes. Now you could download a network searcher like IP scanner, advanced IP scanner, to try and find it. So that's a free download. Try that. Like so. So it's a free download. You could also try your own router. If you know how to look inside your router and see what is on your network, you can do that, which I've got here. But I think it makes sense at first to try and do it this way. Type in HTTP, 2 little dots, and then put in pi with a flat line, star dot local, and a slanted line, and then hit enter. So you can see it goes blue here, look. Now if you've done it right, it will find something. So what I'm going to do is, it does sometimes you've got to sort of turn them on and off a couple of times before it actually finds this. So I'm going to have a little play until it finds it, and then I'll take you to the next step. Okay, after a bit of patience, it just found it. So when it finds it, let me just cancel this. I'll show you what it looks like. So we just go back. So remember, it's pi-star.local/, and I'll put that in the that link in the description. So it's talking locally. It's talking between me and the jumbo spot. It's not properly connected yet to the internet as we want it to be. So look, it comes up no mode defined. Then you put in, it will ask straight away for password. So go PI, all lowercase, star, and then in the password put in raspberry. Click sign in. So, right, you're straight into the configuration page. If it does go to the dashboard, like let's click dashboard here on the top. You're there. Now click configuration, okay? So here we are on the setup page. There's a few things that are important that we have to do, and some of them we have to apply each time. So let's get in as much as we can. So this is Pi-STAR. I'm going to add the word F to remind me that I'm setting it up as a Fusion Pi-STAR at the top there, host name. Then node call sign. Put in your call sign. Now you have to have a call sign, especially with Fusion, or it won't work. Then frequency. So check your band plan, but I'm going to use on this one 431.550. If it goes red, it means you definitely can't use it, but you still need to check the band plan for your, for your area. I'm not going to do the latitude and longitude now. And there's rough ones that have been put in there. You can put them in exactly if you want. Town, I'll leave that for now because I'm not really that bothered about that. URL, you could put that to your own personal QRZ if you wanted to. So APRS, no, it's not going to touch any of that. So let's have a look. There's nothing more we can add at this stage. So at this stage, at the top here where it says control software, keep it on. If it's a simplexed jumbo spot, which is what this video is about, put in simplex node and Mmdvm host, but they are selected by default. So now click apply changes, and then I think we have to do that again, and then the radio will come to life as long as there's activity. Just check you can still see the radio. Now, if you plug this jumbo spot into the top part, the hat, the Mmdvm hat, which you can buy for £20 on eBay now, onto a Raspberry Pi 2 or 3, it will just work. And it's the same image, the same disk image. So that's, I find that really handy. And it's a lot faster, to be honest, but we're just, the Raspberry Pi that is on this jumbo spot at the moment is called a Raspberry Pi Zero, and you can buy them for £20. But I find you can get a Raspberry Pi 3B, which is the one I like, for around £25. You know, you got to shop a little bit, and that has an Ethernet connector as well, which sometimes when you've got a problem finding this, that helps. But anyway, just waiting for this to boot, so I will pause it again. Okay, well, when it starts to get near where it's booted, you get this warning modem selection. Just click OK. You get the config window again. Hopefully you can see the bits that matter. I know I've got the couple of, you can see the radio which is blocking off part of the screen. So now, right, these are the bits that matter now. So we're going to be going into Fusion. So we're going to select YSF mode, but you could select DMR or DSTAR, but the settings are slightly different for each mode. So YSF, we're just going to select there. Now, let's have a look if it's going to allow us to select the modem. We can select OLED screen. So if you've got a little blue screen, we can select OLED Type 3, leave the other two as they are. So in general configuration, we'll scroll down a bit more. And this is crucial. See on the left here where I'm circling, it says radio modem. It's really crucial that you select the right one. So go down and select this one, STM32DVM/MMDVM/HS/Raspberry Pi Hat GPIO. That's for the jumbo spot, and it doesn't matter if it's on a Raspberry Pi 0 or a Pi 3B. That's the one you want. So we've selected that. We've selected the OLED. That means that when it reboots now, the OLED screen will start to show information, because at the moment the OLED screen is just black. So that's all we need at this point. So we're gonna, I don't think we can we put in our Fusion settings? Not yet, but we will. We can choose where that boots. So then we're gonna select apply changes again, and I'll pause while we wait. So that's completed now. So we're in YSF mode now. It's given us the option to put in our DMR number, so we might as well put that in. That's in the section called General Configuration above the radio frequency. Now the radio frequency on your radio will just be a simplex frequency, no tone, nothing. So anyway, I've got my DMR number in there. I'm going to go down here. It says America Link Wires X, so we might as well just leave that. That must be the default, so we'll just leave that for now. But you can drop things down and you can choose where you want it to boot up. You know, look, it's a very long list, mind. You can boot up straight into HubNet, CQ UK, America Link, you know, you name it. There's loads of YSF reflectors, FCS reflectors. But anyway, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to leave that alone and let it boot up where it is. Now, the good thing about the YSF America Link, with a bit of luck, it will straight away... Actually, I'm going to change it to 460 because I noticed that always works very quickly if you want to connect the radio into the WiresX mode, which we will do in this video. Okay, let's go. Just go down to 460. There you go. United Kingdom net, and then just apply changes, and that means that every time your jumbo spot reboots, it will always go there first, and then you can just use the radio to change rooms. But you can always use the Pi-STAR page, which we're on now, in configuration to change rooms. You can also update the firmware by clicking update here Obviously, you can go to the dashboard and look at activity, which we'll do in a minute. You've got expert settings, which are a bit more advanced. You can factory reset it, and if you hit expert here, there is another option. Oh, we can't do it now because it's updating to update again. So let's just let this finish. So look, it's just finishing off now. It's put me back. It's put me into expert. We'll just go back to dashboard now. So yeah, it's still booting, but once it boots, this section will come to life, which is when you click dashboard. So now you're starting to see some life on the OLED screen. There it says close at the moment. Whenever you do anything, it says close. But it will come to life. And if someone's speaking, it will come through straight away. So we're just being patient. It's starting to go green here. YSF's gone green. Right, there you go. I just heard it say connect. We'll turn it up a bit. Right, so we're in now. If I key the mic now, and if you look at the hotspot now, you've got stuff that you can see on the hotspot. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to key the mic and show you that that shows up. And there you are. So I'm on the system now. You see the hotspot says Fusion. We'll try and connect to something that's busy. So what we do, we'll hit the X button. Moving around here a bit. And we're now into the WiresX system. Now it doesn't matter which Fusion radio you're on, this will work. And if you look at the dashboard on my computer, you can see my activity. Now let's just try and connect to something that's active. Which we'll probably choose HubNet because it's always busy. So then we'll select Search Direct. Let's go back. Let's select all. And we'll get a long list. Just want to make sure you can see what I can see. Sorry about this. So there you are. Right. Yeah, I can see what you can see now. Right, okay. And then we're going to scroll to, I'm going to try and find HubNet because that's always busy. You can actually search for things individually, but normally it comes up quite high in the list. So yeah, it's not going to this time though, is it? Let me just pause and then I'll get it to connect. Yeah, so well, I selected a couple of things and there's no activity, but it's fine because we're in there. It's all working. What we're going to do now is just show you if you're on a DMR radio. So go to configuration. Just turn the slider off. You can use the same frequency as long as you set it in the radio, and turn DMR on, and then click apply changes. And just wait a minute while that loads. With DMR, the settings are a bit different. So scroll down. The most important thing would be your DMR number, which is here, general configuration, just above the frequency. Get that in there, and you can register your DMR number with DMR, I think .org. Google DMR, you'll find it. Now I always use Brandmeister United Kingdom. Now you do need to get your self-care password in there. Now, for those of you that are new to that, what you need to do is create an account with Brandmeister. So you go Brandmeister self-care. And once you create an account and give them your DMR number and create your account, there's a section that's called Hotspot Security. So you see, if you go onto this page here, it says Hotspot Security, which is now turned on and needs to be turned on. So you put in a password here, remember it, where it says password, and then save it. And then when you're in this section back here, just enter the same password here and apply changes. Now sometimes you'll get two windows show up, I've noticed, asking for BM United Kingdom 2341. So if you do, just do the same in both. That's what I would do. Apply changes, and we'll just grab my DMR radio as well and see if we can hear anything. So okay, straight away my radio is fired up on DMR. Now you do have to program what they call a code plug into your DMR radio, which I've got it on Talk Group 91. You can hear it in the background. Now that's a separate video, but you're basically programming Talk Group 91, I think it's color code 1, possibly slot 2. So that's a separate video altogether. But right now the hotspot, the jumbo spot, is now transmitting on DMR. If you go to the dashboard by selecting dashboard here, and you can see on the OLED screen all the information coming in. And the information is your talk groups, even the IP address. And on the, see if I can move this over a bit, because I know my photograph's in the way. So let's move this over here, so you can easily see that. So you can see that the information's coming in here in red when it's transmitting live, and on the left here it's showing the frequency that I've put in. It's showing my DMR number, color code, and slot 2 is enabled, and we're in DMR. So lastly, I'm going to now show you the DSTAR configuration. So hit configuration, and this time we'll turn off DMR. Now you can have 2 on at a time, and it'll queue up them coming in. If they're all on the same frequency, you will hear them separately, but it can be very confusing. So I tend to buy a jumbo spot for each mode. So we'll turn on DSTAR, we'll click apply changes, and we'll do the usual pause.
This is Golf Zero, Sierra Lima Radio for an audio check, please.
Yeah, looks like it's working on DSTAR. M0FXB, yeah, sounding good.
Okay, thanks, Andy. Yeah, I've been checking up on an open spot of both, and I can't get it going on DMR, so I can't get it going on here either on this DV dongle. So, so thanks very much for the contact, Andy. Thanks for the test.
There you go, open spot problems. I'll just reply to that. Yeah, no problem. PM me direct on Facebook with any problems, questions, and I'll help you out. You'll find me there on, or email me on QRZ73. All the best. So you can see DSTAR's working well, and you got some something coming through on the jumbo hotspot. So that's all 3 modes. Just seeing what you can see again as usual. See if you can see the Kenwood D74. That was that I was using on DSTAR. Very nice radio. Bit expensive but nice. So we've shown you all 3 modes, and like I said, you can buy these jumbo spots for £15 to £20 on eBay. The Pi Zeros and 3s are £20 to £30, and then get yourself a little SD card. And you will work the world, and it is great fun and very good learning and enjoyable. So I'm going to put this on this video where at the end of it people can ask questions, because I've never done that before. So I'm just going to do it as they call it Premiere. I'm going to try it out, but no worries about that. Just email me and with questions, and I'll help as much as I can. 7-3, all the best. M0FXB clear. Catch you on air.